Let's say you're a woman and the only reason why you're holding on to this guy is because he's a nice guy. You don't feel like starting the process over with somebody else. So even though you're not feeling it with him, you figure, let me try to make it work. You're wasting your time. I will say that in general, if this person isn't willing to talk about things, they're wasting your time. If they're not willing to address or correct things that have been talked about, they're wasting your time. Are you even being yourself, or can you be yourself with this individual? If you're presenting your representative, then this is not a real connection. This is them falling for that person that you're presenting, but that's not real. So to me—
How do you know if someone's wasting your time? How do you know if you're letting yourself be used or wasted in that way?
So to me, again, I think it always starts with self. And you have to be honest with yourself about, why are you still here? Why are you holding on? What's really driving you? Because, just use an example, let's say you're a woman and the only reason why you're holding on to this guy is because he's a nice guy. You don't feel like starting the process over with somebody else. So even though you're not feeling it with him, you figure, let me try to make it work. You're wasting your time. This is where you're setting yourself up for disaster every single time. So if it's not born out of a true connection, love, a genuine desire, you really like this individual, of course, there's always things we have to work through, but is the foundation strong enough for us to say, okay, we can make something special here? And I think once we are honest with ourselves, that kind of helps answer the question, because sometimes we get so caught up trying to analyze the other individual that it's like we get in our heads and now we're missing the mark on what's really important here. And we can't always say for sure what's going on with them. I will say that in general, if this person isn't willing to talk about things, they're wasting your time. If they're not willing to address or correct things that have been talked about, they're wasting your time. If you guys aren't on the same page about what you want and where you want to go in life, wasting time. So there are some things I think we can just look at and say, listen, this is pointless here. But a lot of times, and I have to say this, especially for women, women's intuition is extremely powerful. I'm a huge believer in it. And I feel like women know very early, this isn't it. But they rationalize reasons to convince themselves to give this man a chance. And this, again, is a waste of time because it just doesn't work. I've seen people turn what should have been maybe a couple weeks of dating into years of being married to someone they were not happy with. All because they did not listen to themselves from the beginning. They knew what it was, but they just could not accept it for what it was.
Yeah, and I love that point on intuition. It's almost like when a relationship finally ends, a lot of us think to ourselves, I knew they weren't right for me. Like I knew it. I knew that they weren't the one, but you just didn't listen to that part of yourself.
Yes.
So let's break it down for people. Let's help people out. We started talking about three very important words: connection, which you defined, chemistry, which we've defined, and compatibility, which we've defined. How do people know the difference between connection and chemistry when they meet someone? Because I find that the science shows that you're experiencing dopamine and cortisol at the same time. So you're experiencing the reward chemical and stress chemical at the same time, which gives you that chemistry feeling, which is the feeling of butterflies in your stomach, or like, do they like me? Are they into me? What should I wear? That kind of feeling. But then you're talking about a deeper connection. How do you hear the difference? Because I think a lot of us just get swept up in the feeling of, oh, I'm so into that person, they're so into me. How do you know?
So I think one is, are you even being yourself, or can you be yourself with this individual? If you're presenting your representative, then this is not a real connection. This is them falling for that person that you're presenting, but that's not real. So to me, you should be already being yourself, but with that person you have a connection with, it's a more natural flow. We don't have to force it. We just feel so much more comfortable around them. I think in addition to that is, when you find yourself all caught up in the moment and caught up in that chemistry, again, you have to ask yourself, what am I really attaching myself to? What do I really like about this individual? What I find is that when it's really about chemistry, we're still on the surface. You don't really know about them yet. You just know you guys had a good time. Maybe you had fun at this event. You guys were able to talk about a lot of different things, which is great, which is gonna also be important if there is a connection. However, do you even know what kind of relationship they want? Do you know what kind of life they wanna live? You know, are you guys really on the same page? I think connection is, our paths align, our purposes align. So for us to align, we have to have a deeper understanding of where we're headed, and can we head there together? So that's why I think, though you may feel it, or you may feel like you're feeling it, you have to do your due diligence to dig deeper to find out, okay, is this just I got caught up on the surface, or there is something real here?
Yeah.
And I think once we ask enough questions, because I think that's the other big problem. We have this experience where we feel this chemistry, we're so excited, and now we're afraid to ask questions because we don't want to blow up the fantasy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
We're just like,
yes.
no, I want to keep believing this is great, so let me not ask anything. Let me not run this person away. Let me not rock the boat. But that's going to be what tells us if this is real or not.
Yes, I think you've hit on something there. Like, we're so scared of losing someone that we're okay with not asking important questions and discovering important truths that actually define whether this relationship's going to last.
Absolutely.
And that is ultimately, going back to your point earlier, that is ultimately you not being yourself, right? You're losing yourself, scared that you're going to lose the other person, so you're okay with not being yourself.
I honestly feel this is one of the best videos I've come across. Like, it just gives the real answer to what many of us feel in harmful relationships. If this hit you too, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay real.